dedicated yoga enthusiast, her daughter is her inspiration to work more and stay more fit. She is the face of She's Mercedes for Pune, awarded Times Power Woman, a social media influencer, an educationist, and an MC. She joined FICCI 2 years back and has been actively involved in all our initiatives, be it helping at the ITI, being the entertainment head and MC during the Flow Heart. She has also moderated a lot of our events these past few years since she joined the forum. And this year, she is a part of my working committee 2020. Over to you, Dimple and Milan.
Thank you so much, Anita, for the introduction and for your kind words. Okay, so we all are excited about today because it's a topic close to everyone's heart, Bollywood. It's a well-known fact that India is a country which is crazy about cinema. We're a country of movie lovers. Bollywood mania might just be our national religion. We Indians almost eat, sleep, and drink Bollywood. I have long believed that Hindi cinema is a necessary comfort and a collective expression of hope. Whether it's the villain asking, "Kitne aadmi the?" or the hero affirming, "Mere paas maa hai," there are thousands of reasons why Bollywood is home. I hope my FICCI Flow teammates are all excited for today's session. Flo, how's the Josh? I can get that virtual yes. फिल्में सिर्फ 3 चीजों की वजह से चलती हैं, एंटरटेनमेंट, 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 और मैं एंटरटेनमेंट हूँ. Your host for today, Dimple Somji. With the world at a standstill because of COVID-19, India's film industry is seeing abandoned film sets, closed cinemas, and movie stars with empty diaries. Big releases postponed, production houses and shootings halted, theaters unable to screen the movies, daily wage employees struggling for their next meal. The rupees 183 billion Indian film industry is going through its worst phase because of the lockdown. How will the industry recover? And when it emerges from this crisis, will it look completely different? I have today on board to discuss the movie industry and the effects of the pandemic, a very astute Indian filmmaker, Milan Luthria. Milan has a 2-decade-long career with some of Bollywood's landmark films to his credit. Debuted in 1999 with Kache Dhage, Milan's filmography includes pathbreakers like The Dirty Picture that went on to win 3 national awards. Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, Taxi Number 911, amongst many others. Currently, Milan is donning the directorial hat for the remake of the film RX100, which will mark the debut of Ahan Shetty, son of Sunil Shetty, along with Tara Sutaria in collaboration with Sajid Nadyadwala. Milan is focused yet malleable in his approach, and he has cut across stereotypes, truly believes that the role comes before the actor, as it is evidenced by his varied casting choices, collaborations, and creations. His passion also includes horses and travel. An enthusiastic polo player, Milan has won numerous jockey championships and served as a committee member of the famed Royal Western India Turf Club Limited. Like Milan's movie says it, हर फिल्म का एक ही हीरो होता है, director. चलिए आज मिलते हैं उस director से. Over to you, Milan.
Thank you very much, Dimple and Anita. It's a pleasure to be here. Good evening, everybody. As Anita rightly said, there was no way I could say no. Anita and her husband Suren are one of our closest friends, and I admire her for her clarity of thought, for her peace of mind, and her strong sense of initiative and identity. Let me tell you that you need to be a tough lady to be married to my tough friend Suren. And she did call me as soon as she took over the chair, but she forgot to mention that, as usual, my demand, my bribe was for a fabulous home-cooked meal at their Pune home, which is what I always ask for when I meet her. So looking forward to that once everything opens up, and we've spent some wonderful evenings there, and I'm sure we'll spend many more. Thank you very much for having me here. It's nice to interact with different people at this time when you're really looking to meet people, to see faces. We are hardly looking looking around and hardly seeing anybody. So it's nice. It's nice. It's exciting. It's very, very. I'm happy to be here, and yes, we can go ahead.
Great. Thank you so much first for being with us, and thank you, Anita, for getting him on board. Let's begin our chat show for today. I'm in conversation with Milan Luthria. Watch till the end as we have a surprise segment planned for him. Okay, here goes my question. What made you pursue filmmaking, and what was this drive behind making films?
Well, the drive was actually that I was very clear of only one thing, that I did not want a desk job. I was always an outdoors kind of person. I sort of chop and change a lot in my. I can't have my 2 days cannot be the same. So I wanted to find something where I could harness that energy. And my maternal uncle, Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, was a very, very prolific filmmaker when I left college. And he was doing about 8 or 9 films at a time with all the top stars, Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Sanjay Dutt, Chiranjeevi, Sridevi, Ajay Devgan, you name it. I mean, he had a film with everybody. So when I got out of college, I took up a short stint with him. And I promised myself only one thing, that I would stick on only if I felt I had the aptitude for this job. Because I think it's a knack-based business. It's not so much about education or about, degrees, etc. It's more whether you have an aptitude for it or not. And I progressed very fast with him. In a span of about 6 months, I had gone from the 14th assistant in his team to being his associate director. So it came to me fast, and he threw a lot of work my way. He gave me a lot of confidence. He pushed me into the forefront. I was a very shy boy. I had a stammer. I would not talk to people very easily. But he pushed me to the fore. He said, if you're going to do it, then stand in the spotlight, call the shots. And gradually, because he was multitasking and he was doing so many films, he would tell me, why don't you build a rapport with these actors and ask them if they mind being directed by you? Because then I don't need to be on set. You're doing a good job. So little by little, I started doing work for him independent of his presence. And that gave me a lot of confidence. So that's where it all began.
Fabulous. In fact, I always believe that when you work with passion, you actually don't work a day of your life. You're just
Absolutely.
so passionate about it, with the way you've spoken about your journey and the fact that it comes from within.
Yes.
No one pushed you to become a director. You said, I will try it. I think that's a fabulous message to all of us in our careers. Okay.
Do what you love. Yeah.
Do what you love. Okay. Which is that one movie that is closest to your heart, and why?
From the ones that I have made?
Yes.
It's a toss-up. The first one is always very special, because it's hard to believe that, I got such a big star cast. I remember I got a call from Ajay Devgan's manager saying, we've got you a movie with this company called Tips. Can you come over right now? And I looked down and I had a hole in my shirt. It had got burnt. So I said, oh God, do I go? Do I buy a new shirt? Do I go home and change? What do I do? I just went. I couldn't wait. I went there, and there was a very big producer, Mr. Ramesh Taurani, and the film eventually had a stellar cast: Ajay Devgan, Saif Ali Khan, Manisha Koirala, Namrata Shirodkar, music by Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. So it was a huge, huge break. And when he asked me what I want, I said, I want 2 lakhs of rupees now. Forget about what you give me later. So he said, why 2 lakhs? I said, because a Maruti 800 costs 2 lakhs and 38,000. I've got 38,000 in my bank. If you give me 2 lakhs, I'll do your movie. So he gave me the money. And yes, it was very hard to believe. So it's a very special film. We traveled all through Rajasthan. We were together for about 50 days, during which time my producer was arrested in some police case, and the money dried up, and it was difficult. It was so hot filming there that the soles of our sneakers used to get burnt.
Oh my God.
Many of us, including me, got very bad sunstrokes. but it was just fabulous, just unforgettable 2 months. So that one is very special. And then the other one that's very special is Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, because it was 2008. I had gotten married. I'd spent almost all my money on the wedding, and there was a film to start, and it got shut down because of the big recession of 2008.
Right.
And I didn't know what to do. And 3 months later, this film just fell into my lap. So it kind of changed a lot of things for me at a time when the business was very shaky.
Correct.
And it reunited me with Ajay, started an association with Ekta Kapoor, which led us on to The Dirty Picture. And again, The Dirty Picture is very special because everyone told me that I'm a male-centric filmmaker. You know, women don't play much of a part in my movies, and it's always about smugglers and, you know, whatever, heroes and action and all that. I said, okay, fine. I got this idea. It was given to me. I said, let's do it. And it was very, very sort of heartwarming and very satisfying when people started saying that no one can direct women better than he can.
Oh, wow.
So it was a complete sea change. Yeah. So that was very special. Very special friendship with Vidya Balan began with that film.
Correct. So basically, when we hear about this quote that says that, you know, diamonds are built under a lot of pressure, it kind of, I think, applies on you, because all the movies you just stated, which are close to your heart, have come from a journey of a lot of difficulty, which has actually boomeranged and taken you up high.
Yes. I mean, when we started The Dirty Picture, I'll take a couple of minutes to tell you, I stopped the film after the first 4 days because I felt something was wrong on set. And I just couldn't put my finger on it. I left for Pune, stayed at the Turf Club in Pune for 2 weeks with my writer. And one night, we figured it out, because the movie was about a struggling actress, an extra who becomes a movie star.
Correct.
And Vidya Balan was already looking like a movie star. So that was what was putting me off, because I was shooting the part where she struggles. I went back and I went to my makeup designer, and he said, give me 1 hour and just get me some coconut oil, some boot polish, and that Tamil sari. I don't know what the name is. I can't remember now. And he oiled her hair. He put a lot of polish and dark makeup all over her so that she looked very thin and very undernourished, and put a flower in her behind her ear, brought her out of the makeup room, and he said, is this okay? And we had a movie.
Fabulous.
You know, and it was,
that actually went on to win 3 national awards.
One of them was this guy, Vikram Gaikwad, the makeup designer.
There you go.
One of the national awards was his.
The visit to Pune and halting the movie was again well worth it. And you're going on to us that your intuitive abilities are really helping you in your journey ahead.
Well, you have to listen to them. You know, my boss used to tell me that your mind can lie to you, your heart can lie to you, but your body will not lie.
Yeah.
If you do something that is not going down well with you, you won't sleep at night. You'll wake up stressful, you'll feel, you know, acidic, you'll feel body pain, you'll feel a headache. Your body is telling you you're doing something wrong. I don't always listen to it. I've made a lot of mistakes.
We all have.
When I do, it usually works.
Yeah, I would agree to that. And that's definitely a big lesson to take back home for all of us at FICCI as well. My next question is something to do with your personal life. We know nothing about you, and I really want the audience to know, who are you apart from a film director?
Guys, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back.
Just give me 1 second. I'm going to put the power onto my generator. It'll take me 30 seconds. Yeah.
Absolutely fine. In the meantime, FICCI Flow teammates, I hope you're having a wonderful time. We're in conversation with Milan Luthria, who's directed movies like Taxi Number 911, Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, The Dirty Picture, and so many more. He's also launching Ahan Shetty, son of Sunil Shetty, in his upcoming movie RX 100. We all know things have not been going good for the film industry, and his film has also been halted for similar reasons. We are definitely going to move the conversation now to what is the need how is the film industry going to make a comeback? So stay tuned with us. We have Milan back with us now. If you have any questions for Milan, you can type it out and we will get back to you with whatever we can answer. Yes, Milan. So we were wanting to know about your personal life.
Well, I don't talk about it much. My wife and I are both very private people, and it's quite a struggle for either of us to make it to a party, a Bollywood party, or to a movie premiere. We kind of like to be with our close friends. We like to be around the race course, around race horses. My wife is an interior designer in a very big firm in Mumbai. She's been with them for 25 years. She's done some wonderful homes, offices, very interesting work. She travels a lot. Both of us work full time. My daughter is 9,
Okay.
and she's taken after me in some ways. I mean, she loves horses. I used to ride all my life. Now she's riding. And there's nothing very special to tell except that we get up in the morning and get to work. And I like to finish work early. I like to come back by about 5 o'clock so I can visit my horses. And evenings are most often looking forward to meeting friends over dinner or catching a movie at home. What we do love is we do love to travel. We are fortunate enough to have homes in Mahabaleshwar and Alibag. So we spend a lot of time here, and we spend a lot of time abroad, especially cities like New York, which is our personal favorite. So everything is aimed at staying away from
People.
the film industry.
So is it helping you actually?
It is, yes. It keeps you sane. It keeps you going. It reduces your disappointments sometimes when people don't really turn out to be what you expect them to, because it's a very competitive, very cutthroat business. You manage to retain only a handful of friends over a journey of many years. So you got to insulate yourself from that, and the best way is to not sort of get too much in. There are people who just thrive on it. They party till 4 o'clock every night. They meet the same people every day. They have the same conversations. But I like different kind of stimulation. I like being here talking to you guys. I like going to people's houses who don't ask me questions about how much money does this actor take and how much does a movie cost. And I still get asked those questions, and I still really fret inside, because that's not what you want to do at the end of a hard day's work. But that's all right. It's understandable. But the idea is to stimulate yourself with different things. Travel, according to me, brings out the best in people. It exposes you to different scenarios, different weather, different cultures, different food. You get to look at architecture. We watch a lot of plays in New York and London. Right. So just to get some ideas, just to open up the mind.
Yeah. True that, because we're just a drop in the ocean, and only when we travel do we realize how big the world really is and how small we really are. So that's well said. I would like our audience to also get an understanding of which movies are in the pipeline and how did your idea for RX100 actually happen?
Well, so we are about 80% into this movie. We finished, we were in Missouri for 2 months, November and December last year. And we had a wonderful shoot. The film stars Sunil Shetty's son, Ahan. He's a wonderful guy, very talented, very quiet, very non-filmy, but very good at his job. There's Tara Sutaria has been cast opposite him. She was in Student of the Year 2 and Marjawa. And we have music by Preetham. So we had a great shoot. It kind of, I was just working on something else, and I got a call from Sajid's office saying he wants to meet now. We know each other, and I didn't know why he wanted to meet. I thought maybe it's obviously for a collaboration, but he just said, look, there's this guy, have a look at him. Tell me what you think. Would you be interested in directing him? And I think there was a little bit of a hesitation because I hadn't worked with a newcomer before, and they weren't sure whether I would agree. So I met Ahan. I got a very nice vibe from him, a very sincere, very genuine vibe. And as I said, I haven't followed any template. I just things just go with the flow. And so I thought, okay, this is something I haven't done before, and I'm 53, and maybe there is a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I have learned that I could pass on to someone who's eager to learn.
Correct.
And so that's how the journey began. And we had a few workshops, and we had a few tests and test shoots, and I really had a great time doing it because he's 24, so we don't even speak the same language. We don't, it's very interesting because you can, if you approach it positively, you can actually feed off that. There's a certain energy there that he has, and there's also a certain reluctance or a certain fear, apprehension, which I can sense, and I can push him further, into doing what he's doing. So yeah, I mean, it's very different. So when you work with an actor your own age, there's a lot of things you talk about. I realized after 45 days in Mussoorie that we just hung out maybe 3 or 4 times, because he would go into his room and play his PlayStation, or chat with his friends till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be sitting outside having a drink with somebody else from the crew. So very different interaction, very different to see how today's youngster who's lived abroad, has a great lifestyle, very well brought up boy, how I could bring him close to the medium of Hindi films. It sounds it's very alien to a lot of people.
Yeah.
The way Hindi film actors speak, the way they dress, the way they portray themselves, the way they carry themselves.
Yeah.
It's a very different, unique kind of space. So
Correct.
teaching him that was very, very satisfying.
That's fabulous. But how has this lockdown now affected the release of RX100, and what all is at stake?
Well, it's been hard. It's hit us all very hard. I think it has hit Ahan the worst, because having waited for his first movie and then not being sure which one it will be, who will direct it, how will the shoot go. So having gone through that whole process of waiting to now hit a roadblock, he must be going through the most stress. But we're all cut from a kind of a resilient cloth, this business, and I believe that a lot of young people who want to work with me or who want to enter the business ask me, what is the one quality that we should have? And for years I have been saying that one quality is patience, because movies take time. It's a human business. You're working with human beings. You're not working only with machines or with automation or assembly lines or stuff like that. It's humans who will compose a song one day but not compose for a month after that. Somebody will be able to dance today and not be in the mood tomorrow.
So, a very creative field, basically.
Yeah. So we have become resilient with time. There have been a few crises that I have seen. There have been strikes that throw production out of gear. There have been things like the advent of the color TV, the DVD player, the advent of satellite channels, the advent of web entertainment, have all given us setbacks from time to time. But you just have to, I think positive. Actually, I think you should not think about it at all, because the moment you start thinking about it, you start becoming negative.
Yeah.
So it is what the universe has given us at this point in time. And the best thing to do is accept it and not think about it, because the more you think about it, the more frustrated you will get, the more excuses or the more shortcuts you'll try to find.
Yeah.
And that may not be good, because there are too many issues. There's going to be a pileup of films, which we make about 200 odd films a year. That's literally 4 films a week. So that pileup is going to take time to sort out. There's going to be studios that are going to be chock-a-block with films that are nearing completion rather than with films that are just beginning.
Yeah, true that.
Actors are successful people. They have, blessed lives. They're not going to be very willing to go out there and mix with a 200-member crew to finish a movie. They can afford to wait. It's not their bread and butter crisis, as it would be for a laborer. And then, of course, we come down to the labor part of the business, the movie theaters. But it is my very strong belief that yes, we are on hold, maybe for 6 months. But when when things do normalize, I think people will want to be distracted, want to be entertained, want to do group activities, enjoy themselves. And cinema has always been on top of the Indian person's list.
I agree with you. In fact, I would say Bollywood stars and directors are also aware that their problems fade in comparison to what the poor are facing.
Of course.
The movie produced in Mumbai is made possible by an army of men and women being in the shadows, the extras, the carpenters, caterers. You've got the tailors making the costumes, men putting up the movie billboards, men sitting at the theater ticket windows, So the movie industry has come together to protect its most vulnerable. So Milan, could you shed some light on this for us? Because that's a beautiful side of the movie film industry for COVID-19.
Well, we have, as an industry, always been sort of not been given our due, not only for what we do for our own, but also for what film industry has come out very strongly, donating money, performing, doing shows, doing road shows, traveling to, even during wars, our actors have traveled to the front to entertain soldiers, and so it's a very emotional community. It's not really at its heart. It's not a cold-blooded business community.
Yes.
We are emotional people. We feel the pain of others, and this time the difference that I have found is that a lot of the help is being given without fanfare, which is a great sign.
Yeah.
I know which friends are doing what, and they're doing it quietly. They're not tom-tomming about it. They're not, we're all keeping our offices running. We're all keeping our labor and the sort of the daily wage earners. Everyone is coming out for them to support them, but it's not being used to make news, which is a very good sign. It means that we've stopped being so charmed by page 3. It means that it doesn't matter to us whether all this gets talked about or not. And yes, there are a few who will feel the pinch in spite of all these efforts, because it's a very big industry, and there are some who are not. I think there is a certain section of professionals who are working who neither come under daily wage earners, nor do they come under people who are really struggling. I would call them the middle bracket, or the lower to middle bracket. I don't think their concern has been addressed, because I think there's a perception that they can pull through. They may have been on a decent salary for a few years, and one feels they can do with a 50-60% pay cut. So I don't know about that, but we are doing. Everyone's doing their bit. I think if you just look after your immediate community, it's the community that you have just finished working with, or you are currently working with. If each person does that, then everybody will reap the benefits. We are doing that for our little crew. We've had to let go of a few people, unfortunately, because the costs were just going out of control. But the others are being looked after maybe in small ways. Maybe somebody just needs 20,000 rupees a month to augment his income. Maybe somebody needs 10,000 rupees a month because he's earning only 15. maybe somebody needs 50,000 rupees a month. So
Yes.
if we look after our own community, that's what 200 odd people, I think we would have done very well.
You know, I agree that, like you said, it's really nice when people are working without wanting it to be publicized. But I also think the other side of this is that the movie industry deserves its due as well. There is so much that you guys are doing, and creative people are emotional people, and that never gets spoken about. So in a way, that the news that kind of reaches us as a third party, it feels nice that the movie industry has made so much and tremendous efforts during the COVID-19. So we're also happy that some are still doing it behind the curtains, but we are very happy that it's come out in the open as well, because you guys deserve this due.
Great, thanks.
To my next question. After months of quarantine, the public may need to regain the confidence to return to cinema. But it's also possible that this pandemic will push the film industry towards a more digital future. Cinema will endure, of course, but in what form? How should the movie industry think out of the box during these tough times, and what's going to be a smart move now?
See, I think what filmmakers react to is the social reality out there. You know, this is a time when you need content which is positive, which is full of hope and triumph over difficult things. There are perceptions about failure of administration, failure of government machinery, ineffective sort of ways of tackling the situation.
Yes.
Whether that is true or false is not my concern, but what is true is that we've realized that we are not infallible. You know, a tree can fall across the road and stop
Yes.
you in your tracks. And so I think the kind of content that we put out there, the kind of messages that we put out there should address this 6-month lapse of positivity. You know, we need to address that. We need to do what we do. We just need to sing our songs, dance around the trees, you know, have big spectacles, have good-looking movie stars, have romance, have action, have comedy. That's what we do. We are entertainers. So as long as we do that, I'm sure people will come to the cinema. I'm sure the Indian habit of the evening out or the weekend, which includes a visit to the mall, you buy a t-shirt, you pick up a snack, and you watch a movie. So I don't see that going away. It didn't go away when the color television frightened the hell out of us, when the VCR scared us, when the DVD player and the laser disc scared us, when satellite channels came in, when web series came in. It didn't drive people away. It's a collective response to a collective experience. So what happens is, if everything is out there and you've had your vaccine and you say, oh my God, the new Amir Khan movie is in town, or the new whatever movie is in town, and everyone tells you, go watch it. And you're looking at a weekend with nothing much planned, and you've got a multiplex half a kilometer away, you will fall back into your habit, just like you will fall back into waking up at 7 o'clock and getting ready for work. Yeah. You know, so it's right now, yes, everything seems very gloomy, and you know, being the film industry, we always get the brunt of people's attention. You know, what's happening? This fellow's movie has not worked. This fellow has gone into a depression. This fellow has had a fight. This is so. We are the cynosure of all eyes. You know, when I tell my friends when they meet me at a party, they'll ask me, so how much do you pay Akshay Kumar? How much do you pay Ajay Devgan? I said, do I ask you how much you pay your CEO? Do I ask you what your next project is? Do I ask you when are you releasing your next set of nuts and bolts or audio speakers? Let's talk about cricket. Let's talk about anything else, you know. But so we are the cynosure, and but it's at best a short-term problem. I think the next 1 year is going to be difficult,
Yes.
but we will definitely bounce back.
So basically, you like how I kind of persevere. What you're saying is that you've been seeing roadblocks. You've seen that the whole film industry has been seeing different kinds of setbacks at different times and eras. So this is just another setback, but I think, yes, maybe because Bollywood is our national religion, we all are going to come back to it eventually, and watching movies is still going to be a thing. And
I
that's
should think so, yes.
positive. And do you think digital platform is a good option for the movie industry?
I think the digital platform has actually increased cinema footfalls. I have a view which is that, you know, when you start getting weaned off the Saas Bahu and the Bhabhi Ji Ghar Pe Hain, and you have better stuff to watch, which
Yeah.
is well written, well crafted, it increases your appetite for
Yeah.
more content on a
Wow.
different platform. So it's like, okay, you know, I've now raised my own bar as a viewer because I'm watching stuff written by the best writers in the world and performed by the best actors and so on and so forth. So I definitely want to extend my habit or sort of indulge more in this habit.
Into it. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we don't, no matter what you say, we are social animals.
Yes.
So now it seems as though this is the best thing to do. You watch for hours and hours and hours. You're watching television, you're watching the web. But when you get out there and it's a weekend, you are going to enter the first mall that opens and buy yourself an outfit. You are going to go to the first restaurant that opens and really pig on a good meal.
Movie.
Yeah. So that's the, I think, you know, it's a social habit. And yes, the web has helped us a lot. You know, it's a very exciting platform. I'm also developing a series which is more than at its initial stage now. And it's very exciting because you get to interact with international talent. You know, we have a lot of Zoom calls to talk, you know. So it's a good exchange of creatives and energies. And it's definitely something I want to do.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter to a filmmaker whether it's you're shooting for the small screen or the big screen.
Correct.
It's just should be a satisfying experience. So I think they will coexist.
You know, I was really worried that we movie buffs are not going to get back into being in theaters, and you make it sound so simple and so easy. And you know, that's great, because I actually remember a Bollywood dialogue with whatever you've been saying, which is "बड़े बड़े शहरों में ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती है." So you've really simplified it for us and given us so much hope that it's not the end of the movie industry, and thank God to that.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for young filmmakers out there?
Well, the advice I have is that, you know, this is a business that traditionally was a guru shishya business. It was a business where you picked a guru and you followed him. And that's how you learned how to do 100 things in one day. Whether it was how to convince an actor, how to direct him, how to gauge his mood, how to sense lighting, how to move the camera, how to edit a scene, what costume to pick, what angle to shoot. But unfortunately, over the years, the system of having a mentor or a guru or a boss or somebody who you learn the ropes from has disappeared. So what happens is people come onto a film for 6 months, then they go off the film and they go on to another film, or they go onto a web show, or they shoot commercials. So they don't imbibe this experience that their boss or their master could pass on to them, which is 20, 30 years of filmmaking. So that's the one big worry that I have, that we are moving out of that system, because what we have today is known as the first AD system, where an assistant director or an AD comes on set, does his work, and then he's not interested. He doesn't come to sit with the composer. He doesn't come to do the background score. He doesn't come and chew his nails before the first day, first show. He doesn't experience what happens in the cinema. He doesn't come to you when you're thinking about your next movie. So I was exposed to all these processes, and that's what made me who I am.
Wow.
You know, so I think that culture has to be reinforced, reinstated. But I think we have a restless generation. I don't think people have the patience to really give 2 years of their life to somebody and say that, you know, I'll wait if he's not working. I'll wake him up in the morning. I'll, sometimes listen to his bad words or his temper tantrums, or I think that's very, very important. And I think that is true in a lot of cases apart from just our industry. I think picking a guru is where you really, really get your learning.
Yeah, I think there was a generation that only learned that way, and most of us can vouch for the fact that we have gone through that process, and it's absolutely gratifying and it's beautiful. So we're hoping that the viewers and their children back home or their friends who are thinking about taking up anything, please do think about these methods which have been told by Milan. Milan, that was great. And now for the surprise segment, which is a rapid fire with you. Are you ready?
Yes, absolutely.
And viewers, let me just bring this to your notice that he does not know what questions have been framed for him. So this is going to be spontaneous and a lot of fun. Okay, the first one. Your favorite place, Mumbai, Mahabaleshwar or Alibag?
Mahabaleshwar.
Why?
The weather.
Okay. Who's the decision maker at home, you or Leanne?
Leanne.
Who's the one person you can never say no to?
My daughter.
Most favorite destination for a holiday?
New York.
And most favorite destination for a shoot?
Rajasthan.
Which film has inspired you the most?
It's a Wonderful Life by Frank Capra.
Wow. Which book would you love to make into a film?
Papillon.
If you got the opportunity to remake a classic, which one would you go for?
Sholay.
Wow. Okay, that's exciting. Okay, if not filmmaking, then what?
Horse. I would train horses.
Yeah, we would expect that. Your favorite movie?
My favorite movie sounds very old and changes every week. So it could be Mughal-e-Azam. It could be, as I said, It's a Wonderful Life. It could be Don Juan, the Marco. It changes all the time.
Okay. Your favorite lead actor?
Amitabh Bachchan.
What would you like to do in filmmaking that you haven't yet done?
Good one. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough. I've done a lot of things. Definitely not acting, but yeah, I would probably like to choreograph.
Oh wow!
I'm very fond of music. Maybe either compose a song or write a song or choreograph a song. Something around music.
Around music. Fabulous. So that was well played and super fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for having so much of zeal and enthusiasm. Now I'm going to move on to our viewer questions.
Sure.
So the first one is by Prem Anand. Did you have a service background?
No, I was aimed towards business and accounts and suffered through a BCom degree from Sydenham College, Mumbai, and straight got into work.
Okay. Next question by our flow member, Nupur Pawar. How is your experience to work with young talent?
As I said, I feed off their energy, and I watch, how they're like what you call a Kora Kagas. It's like a blank slate, and you feel a huge sense of responsibility because you're the first person writing on that slate.
Correct.
And what experience you give them will help them shape their lives. So it's a very tender feeling, and you really want them to do well because you see how much they want it.
Yeah, what stamps you're going to put on their mind now is going to stay with them all throughout their lives. All right, next question, flow member Hina Kaushik. How do you cope with the jargon of youth these days? At times it's difficult to understand them. So how do you keep yourself abreast of it?
Look at your phone. I mean, it's not really that bad. The jargon is not that bad. It's more that their ways of unwinding are different from ours. That's the only difference. So when there's an uncomfortable silence, just look at your phone.
Wow, that was fun. All right. Next one by flow member Vrinda Jatia. Youth of today vis-a-vis youth of yesteryears. Is there a difference you perceive while you're working with them?
Yes, I think they're a little short on drive. The youth of yesteryears was more concerned about how to, you know, the traditional things of how much money you have to make, so much money every month. You have to run your home, sort of, ghar chalana hai, gaadi leni hai. You have to save some money. You want to buy your mother something nice for Diwali. Save and protect yourself. Today they're a little careless, I think. They're not that worried. You know, perhaps their parents have insulated them. Perhaps they themselves don't. I don't see that same fire burning. They're as talented. They're as gifted. They're as good. But a little bit more hunger is needed.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that probably is something that we all are experiencing from the generations which are upcoming. Well, that brings us to the end of the questions as well. Thank you for sharing your insights with the FICCI Women's Group and for keeping hope in all of us cinephiles alive. We wish this movie industry a very speedy recovery and all our best wishes to you for RX100.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very happy to have had this chat. And Anita, at your service anytime. Let me know what I can do, when I can do, where I can do. And I think it went very well. I've had a nice afternoon and lovely meeting all of you.
I'm just going to end with a Bollywood dialogue, Anita, before I give you the page. जिंदगी में भी एंड में सब कुछ ठीक होता है, हैप्पी एंडिंग्स, और अगर ठीक ना हो तो वो तो एंड है ही नहीं, बाकी है दोस्तों. On that note, that's me signing out. दुआ में याद रखना. Over to you, Anita.
Thank you, Dimple, for moderating it so well. And Milan, I am truly in debt to you for having come open to our members today. And what I really liked about your talk was the analogy of the Guru Shishya. And I don't think this should be only in your field of entertainment. It should be for life. I mean, this is what the youngsters today really need to, understand this and learn from what you have spoken today, that look at the adults. I mean, listen to them, to take advantage of, the experience that they have had in their lives. I think this is a very valid point. And also happy to know that we're going to be back soon, sitting in the theater. I love my popcorn and my samosas. And I don't sit and watch a movie, and I'm really doing that right now. So happy to know that, yes, maybe 6 months or a year down the line, we will be watching movies in theaters. And also, Milan, what I liked, what you said is that you don't feel threatened by the digital web series and the web movies coming up. In fact, very happily, you have accepted it, and you know that both of you are going to coexist. The digital, the web series also, and the actual hardcore entertainment Bollywood movies that we have always grown up with, both are going to coexist simultaneously. So we've had a very, very enlightening afternoon. And may I also tell the viewers that Milan was talking a lot about how to, Dimple, you framed a question about how, if there is a break or a pause when you're talking to youngsters, how do you react to it? I must tell the viewers that the way I have seen Milan and Leanne, behave with the youngsters, it's incredible. I mean, we can have a solid conversation and a lovely evening with him, me and my husband. And at the same time, the next night, he will spend time with my son and my daughter-in-law and all the other youngsters. They all love him. They love Leanne and Milan because he can come down to, the way they speak, the way they think, and it's beautiful to see Leanne and Milan, reacting with all the youngsters also and being a part of their journey. And they all learn a lot from his experiences and his views. So thank you very much, Milan. This has been a really, really enlightening afternoon. And once again, thank you, Dimple, for moderating it.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.